this Minimum Wages Act. Objective and the scope of the minimum wages. This act covers rules and regulations regarding minimum wages applicable to nature of industry, which is decided based on process carried out. It is also covered the index for dearness and HRA rules. This law takes care of the issues like fixing minimum rate of wages in certain employment by preventing the exploitation of labor. For the purpose authorizes the appropriate government to take steps to prescribe the minimum rate of wages in certain employment. So this minimum, what is the scope and objectives of minimum wages? So this minimum wages is enacted to protect the employees from the exploitation of wages. So for example, the employers, they may get more work from the labor class, and they will pay less to the labor class. So in order to avoid that, or in order to protect the labor from the exploitation of wages, this Minimum Wages Act is enacted. This Minimum Wages Act for each and every state, this Minimum Wages Act is applicable. For every state in India, this Minimum Wages Act is applicable, and the minimum wages will differ from state to state and industry to industry. For each state, this minimum wages is different, and for each industry, this minimum wages is different. Say, for example, for automobile industry, it will be different. The wages of the employees will be different. For electrical industry, the wages will be different. For dairy products, the wages will be different. So, according to the industrial need, this minimum wages will be differs. This minimum wages will also covers the dearness allowances and HRA. Okay, so this minimum wages will explains that what should be paid to skilled labor, what should be paid to unskilled labor, and what should be paid to semi-skilled labor. So there is a three type of labors like skilled labor, semi-skilled labor, and unskilled labor. According to the skills of the labors, this minimum wages will be differs. So fixing the minimum wages, how you can fix the minimum wages? How the government is fixing the minimum wages for the employees? Minimum wages is fixed on the ethical ground and not on economic ground. So minimum wages will be fixed on ethical ground. Ethical ground means it is fixed on the employees' work, not on the employees' economy. It is considered the value of the work done by the workers or the capacity of the employees to pay. So it is not involved with the value of the whatever this minimum wages is not involved with the value of the work that the employee has done, and it is not involved with whether the employer can pay the employee or not. Irrespective of that, it is wages that is fixed by the government, and even though the employer is facing some loss or any criticism, means it doesn't care of that. The employer has to pay the minimum wages to the employee. The act gives statutory recognition to the notion that an employee must get at least a minimum wages in certain employment where labor is unorganized and is likely to be exploited. So the government for the welfare of the laborers, this minimum wages is enacted by the government, and the government don't want the labor class to be exploited by the wages. So it strongly recommends the employers that the employer has to pay the minimum wages to the labor classes. If the employer doesn't, or if the employer fails to pay the minimum wages to the working class, means then the employer will be penalized. So minimum wages is nothing but it is the wages fixed by the government, and the employer has to pay the employees this minimum wages irrespective of their losses, irrespective of the profit or loss faced by the employer. Okay, so these minimum wages will be differ from state to state and industry to industry. So according to that only the employers has to pay. If the employer is paying less than the minimum wages, then the employers will be penalized. Fixing of minimum wages. How the government is fixing the minimum wages? The minimum wages is fixed based on the ethical grounds, not on the economic ground. So it will not see the economy of the industry, or it will not see the economy of the organization. Next is, the government will not consider the value of the work done by the employee. So whatever the work done by the employee, whatever the work done by the employee, the minimum wages is fixed by the government. That wages, whether the employee is working less or whether the employee is working more, irrespective of that, the employer has to pay minimum wages to the employee. Next, the act gives statutory recognition to the notion that an employee must get at least minimum wages in certain employment where labor is unorganized and is likely to be exploited. So this act is saying that even though the labor is working in unorganized sector, even though the labor is working in unorganized sector, the labor should not be exploited and they should be paid minimum wages. So I will let you know how to find the minimum wages for each and every state. So this is a website I am following. If you know any other website apart from that, you can follow that. So this is the website I know, and I will be following this website to find the minimum wages for any state. So first is, you have to go labor law, comply with labor laws, salary minimum wages check. If you click on the minimum wages check, if you click on this minimum wages, it will show the states. It will show the different states. So if you want to find out minimum wages for Maharashtra, means you have to click Maharashtra. Which industry? It will ask you which industry. Whether you are working in automobile industry, bakeries, or chemical industry, or any dispensary, glass bulb, glass industry, or liquor industry, print pressing. So every industry will be there. Rubber industry, every industry will be there. So if you are working in a rubber industry, means you have to click rubber industry. And it will show you the zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. Zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, you have to find that in which area your organization or your establishment is situated. So you have to check with the municipality whether it will come under zone 1, zone 2 or zone 3. So you have to check with your municipality. Once you find out your organization will be in zone 1 means, then they have divided into 3. They have divided the labor class into 3. One is skilled labor, semi-skilled labor, and skilled labor. Skilled labor means the employees who are working with the machineries. Semi-skilled labor means they will involved with partially involved with the machinery and partially they will not involved with machineries. Unskilled means they will not involved with the machineries. So they are dividing the labor class into 3. So for zone 1 unskilled, 6,500 is the minimum wages. Basic and special allowance is 5,992. Total wages is 12,492. So this 12,492 only you have to pay. Okay. So for unskilled, the wages for for unskilled employees, the wages is 12,492. For skilled employees, the wages, minimum wages is 13,692. So you can pay 14,000, 15,000, or you can pay above than this 13,692 for skilled labors. But you should not pay below this 13,692. Understood? So this is how you have to find the minimum wages for your state, your industry, and your labors. If you want to check for Delhi means, you have to click Delhi. Delhi skilled labor. Delhi, all cities in Delhi that will fall under zone 1 only. So they are not divided the place into zone 1, zone 2, and zone 3. So every place in Delhi, they will be come under zone 1 because Delhi is a capital of our country, and it is the metro city. It is one of the metro city, and it is a very busy city. So every state, every place will be come under zone 1. So you have to divide the zone 1. You have to divide the working class into 3. That is skilled, semi-skilled, and unskilled. For skilled workers, you have to provide 20,357 as a minimum wages. For semi-skilled, it is 18,499. Some unskilled, it is 16,792. So this is for, 1 second. This is for which industry? Rubber industry. This is for rubber industry of Delhi. Not only rubber industry, but all the industry in Delhi. Okay. So for skilled, the monthly wages is 20. Semi-skilled monthly wages is 18,500. Unskilled, the monthly wages is 17,000. For daily wages, they also mentioned here. Per day, how much employer has to pay to their employees. So this is how you have to find the minimum wages. Next is, I already told you that I will show you the professional tax and labor welfare fund. See, if you go to comply with the if you go to comply with labor law, it will show a page like this. In this, you have to select professional tax. This professional tax, here it will say you what are all the states where the professional tax is applicable and what are the states where the professional tax is not applicable. Professional tax is applicable to the state like Andhra Pradesh, Jharkhand, Maharashtra, Nagaland, Sikkim, West Bengal. So these are all the states where the professional tax is applicable. If you are working with this kind of states, like if you are working in Maharashtra, means for Maharashtra, you have to deduct the professional tax for each and every employees. Okay. But if you are working in Delhi, means for Delhi, professional tax is not applicable and you should not deduct the professional tax for the employees. So, for example, if there is, say a single organization or a single establishment where the establishment is having branch in both Maharashtra and Delhi. Okay, ABC is an establishment. That establishment is having head office in Maharashtra, but branch office in Delhi. Means for employees who are working in Maharashtra, for them you have to deduct professional tax. Okay. Employees who are working in Delhi, for them you should not deduct professional tax. You can say that both the employees are working under single organization, but the location is different. Okay, so for Maharashtra, professional tax is applicable. You have to deduct the professional tax for the employees who is working in Maharashtra. For Delhi, professional tax is not applicable, and you should not deduct the professional tax to the employees who is working in Delhi. Okay, so like that you have to analyze the professional tax applicability, and you have to deduct the professional tax for your employees. You should not say like all the employees are working in one organization. So under a single organization, all the employees are working. So I'll be deducting professional tax for all the employees. You should not say like that. According to the location, you have to deduct the professional tax. Understood? So this professional tax, I will let you know. Say for example, we will take Kerala. See, they have given some slab, or they have given some table. So according to this only, you have to deduct the professional tax. According to this slab only, you have to deduct the professional tax. If the employees who is earning between 12,000 to 18,000, that is 17,999, for that employee you have to deduct 120 rupees as professional tax. Employees gross salary, it is not annual salary, or it is not net salary, it is gross. So employees gross salary falls between 18 to 30,000, you have to deduct 180 rupees. And you have to pay the professional tax to this. Where it is? Website. Website has been given lsgkerala.gov.in. So you have to click this website, and you have to pay the professional tax in this website only. So for like this, similar to this, each and every state is having some slab. If for Maharashtra, they are having some slab. So according to this slab only, you have to deduct the professional tax to the professional tax from the employees, and you have to pay the professional tax in this website. Likewise, labor welfare fund. Labor welfare fund. See, labor welfare fund applicable states and not applicable states. So similar to professional tax, you have to deduct the labor welfare fund also. So for labor welfare fund, who are the employees are eligible for labor welfare fund deduction means blue collar employees are eligible for blue collar employees are not blue collar. No, not blue collar. All the employees who are working in corporate office, they are also eligible. They are also eligible for deducting the, or they are also eligible for reduction of labor welfare fund. So you have to check the states for the applicability of labor welfare fund. According to that only, you have to deduct the labor welfare fund. Say for example, we will take Maharashtra. So this is the labor welfare fund. So they have clearly mentioned that employee contribution and employer contribution, total contribution, and the date of remittance. Within you have to deduct on or before 30th of June, and you have to pay the contribution on or before 15th of July. So here they have mentioned everything. According to that only you have to deduct. and you have to pay the contribution to the government. Here it is, they have mentioned website. You can click on this website and you can proceed with the payment. Understand, guys?